Welcome to our new section of study, which is invertebrates. I'm sorry, vertebrates. We just covered all of these invertebrates, so the majority, we discussed everything here. And now we're going to be talking about vertebrates. I went ahead and found this resource that I put here for you. You should probably pause the video and just kind of take notes or read through both of these Venn diagrams so that you understand the difference between invertebrate and vertebrates. So please pause the video, take notes if you want to, or just read over it. Okay, so vertebrates, I want to talk about vertebrates as characteristics first. They have a vertebral column, so that means that they're going to have some sort of, um, you know, what you might call it, like structure internally, right? We talked about endoskeletons and exoskeletons. So this would be an endoskeleton. It's allows it to have much better movement, having this vertebral column. It has a brain and a skull, so they're more advanced in terms of their thinking. Animals that have, better thought process or better assimilation of ideas, neurologically speaking. The They have kidneys and liver. They have closed circulatory systems, and they have, a heart or multiple hearts. They're typically larger animals you will find compared to invertebrates, obviously because they have to have a closer circulatory system because it needs to be more efficient. They're more complex, and some of them, and many of them have highly developed brain. The bone allows for a lot, there's a lot of strength in a lot of these animals because the bone allows for strong muscle development that because it can be supported by the bone and therefore improving strength. All right, some specific characteristics about fish here. And so I wanted to take a moment to go through this cladogram. So you have lancelets and tunicates, which is what we covered in invertebrates. And notice here you develop a vertebra. So a vertebra is either bone or cartilage that allows you to have a better structure. Jawless fish is what we're going to be talking about next. Then jaws are developed. Then cartilaginous fish. Then you have an actual skeleton. Then bony fish. And then we're going to talk about, so these three categories, jawless, cartilaginous, and bony fish are what we're going to be talking about today. And then the rest of the week, we'll be talking about amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Some specific characteristics about fish. So they have a vertebral column of some sort. And they lack limbs. So if you notice this fish has fins, the idea is that during development, these fins probably developed into limbs, but these are not considered limbs. This is actually part of the structure of the organism. Okay, so jawless fish. Jawless fish are, there's two types. They're hagfish and lampreys. And you probably have seen some of these pictures before. They don't typically live in surface water. They live deep in the ocean of the water. And notice that that skeleton lacks jaw. We're actually going to look at one of these organisms eating in a moment. So technically, hagfish are not vertebrates. They have a notochord their whole life. Well, what happened, the reason why they're qualified under vertebrates is because genetically they're closer, they possess a lot of the characteristics that vertebrates have without actually having, cartilage or some sort of skeleton type material. Cartilage is basically the preempt, like the before building bone. So it's a tough, flexible material. We actually have bone and cartilage. If you think about your knee, there's like your bones, your kneecap. It has a bone from your um, the top of your leg and a bone from the bottom of your leg, and there's cartilage all around that ties it together. So it's not bone, but it's a material that basically holds the organism together. I'm gonna show you a quick video here that I want you to see.
At the bottom of the ocean dwells a bizarre-looking creature. It has remained unchanged for 300 million years. This is the hagfish. Its velvet smooth skin lacks scales and slithers along the ocean floor. It has a skull, but no spine. Tiny holes run along the sides of its wriggling body, some for breathing and some for sliming. But its most bizarre feature is its mouth. Like something out of an alien movie. This jawless maw is made for mincing up dead bodies. Multiple rows of sharp teeth are packed on 2 bony plates. With its single nostril, it picks up the sweet scent of death. A feast has arrived. It has no fins, but its paddle-like tail makes light work of swimming. The hagfish latches on, and its mouth goes to work. Flesh is ripped from the carcass and shoved down its toothy throat.
Okay, so it's quite graphic watching this video, but you notice that it's very interesting to to see how it is that they eat and how they go through this process. Notice that they don't have fins. They are just basically kind of like snakes that swim, but they have the tails. They have a lot of other interesting features. They are decomposers, hagfish and lampreys. Anyway. Okay, so the next type of fish that we want to talk about is the cartilaginous fish, and these are basically sharks, skates, and rays. Here I have a picture of a bull shark, which is the top predator here in the Tampa Bay area. These, obviously, if it has the word cartilaginous, that means that these fish have cartilage, right? So that means that they don't really have a true bone structure. They have basically a firm material that is a lot more flexible than bone, which is why sharks are able to bend and turn so quickly, right? So it's an adaptation for them that allows them to be super effective in the way that they hunt. The next, here are some other examples of cartilaginous fish, and the last type of fish that I want to go over is bony fish, and these fish are now, evolutionarily closer to us. They actually have a skeleton like the picture I had earlier. They have there's a fish with 2 different types of fins. This is called the lobe fin as opposed to the ray fin, which is like the typical type of fin, and it's going to be discussed further in the video that you will be doing for your dissection. So this is everything for today. If you have any questions, please make sure you reach out. Remember to do your dissection. Thank you.